She is a famous dancer, but she is in love with the son of a billionaire in the church. It sounds like a modern version of Cinderella's fairy tale. But the ending of the fairy tale is often a lie. The marriage lasted only 2 weeks. It didn't bring wealth and love. Instead, it dragged her into a dream of power, money, and class differences that was suffocating. The heroine, Annie, as a nightclub manager, her life was not bright. The shadow of her childhood family violence and the economic situation at the end forced her to learn to make a living with her body and dance. For her and her sisters, there seemed to be only 2 ways out of life. Either find an honest man to take over, or get a real rich man to fall in love with her. The opportunity seemed to come by chance. One day, a young Russian guest came to the store. He named a girl who could speak Russian as a companion. Annie, who has a Russian grandmother, took the opportunity. The guest's name is Ivan. He is shy, but he has a sense of insecurity. After a brief exchange, Ivan became very interested in her and made a personal invitation. The first time he stepped into Ivan's house, Annie's worldview was completely subverted. A huge 3-story villa, luxury cars in the garage are like toys. Even a bottle of water given to him by hand is imported sparkling water. Every breath is full of the smell of money. He pretends to be calm, but his heart has long been turbulent. This is the life he has been dreaming of. Ivan showed him a great love. After the New Year's party, he threw out 100,000 yuan and asked Annie to accompany him for a week. For Annie, this is equivalent to his income for several months. He hardly hesitated. He quit his job and lived in this luxurious cage. The next week was the ultimate intoxication. Private housekeeper, exclusive masseuse, and the only daughter of the casino. Ivan used his father's money to create a perfect dream for her. The craziest thing is that just because his friend mentioned it, Ivan booked a private plane to take her to Las Vegas. In the presidential suite, Annie was completely intoxicated. He mistook the other party's indifference as sincerity. He mistook the romantic accumulation of money for love. The dream was about to wake up. A week had passed. Ivan revealed his helplessness to return to Russia to inherit the family business. However, he changed his mind and proposed a solution that seemed perfect. If he married an American, he could get citizenship and get rid of family control. It was almost subconscious, or deep in his heart, he had an extreme desire for wealth. He urged Annie to respond immediately. Verse 6. Impulsively, 2 young people who had no plans for life rushed into a hall in Las Vegas and exchanged vows. There was no prenuptial agreement, no family blessing, and even no understanding of each other. Back in New York, Annie resigned from her job and took a diamond ring from Ukraine to show off her victory to her past sisters and opponents. She naively thought marriage was her way to the rich, but she underestimated the dignity of the top rich families and the cold methods they used to maintain class barriers. News soon spread to Moscow. Ivan's mother, a cold-blooded oil tycoon, made a phone call. She sent a father who was wiping his son's ass and 2 cold-blooded bodyguards to rush into their love nest. The conflict broke out instantly. The first thing the father did was to confirm the authenticity of the marriage certificate. When he got a definite answer, the atmosphere was cold. After Ivan learned that his parents were flying to the United States in person, he instantly changed from a rebellious teenager to a tycoon. He actually left Annie and ran away in a hurry. Meanwhile, Annie experienced a change from a hostess to a prisoner of shame. She was tied up by the bodyguard with a phone line, gagged with a scarf, and her father used the harshest language to tear her dignity to shreds. This is not a real marriage. This is a real marriage. Okay. And we're getting in an old and you have no say in it. I promise you that. The fuck you will. Yes, we will. And I would like all of you to fucking untie me and leave my home or I will be pressing charges. Your home? Yeah, my home. This isn't Ivan's home. This is his father's house. Everything Ivan has belongs to his father. You understand? Ivan has nothing. The most fatal blow was that the father took away the diamond ring on his finger, the token that he regarded as a symbol of love and identity. At this moment, the bubble of the fairy tale was completely broken, revealing the cold transaction box inside. In order to find him and cancel the marriage before the arrival of Ivan's parents, the father was forced to take Annie to play a New York street horror chase. They wandered around the candy shop that Ivan often went to, the billiard hall, and the high-end restaurant, but they never found him. During this process, Annie's emotions were constantly fluctuating at the edge of collapse. Sometimes she was lost, sometimes she had the last fantasy, hoping that Ivan would stand up and admit all of this. And the silent bodyguard, Nick, was the only variable among these people. He witnessed the whole process of Annie from vanity to despair, and there was a hint of unnoticeable sympathy in his eyes. In the end, they found Ivan, who was as drunk as Annie, and the one who was with him was Annie's dead rival. The scene in front of him gave Annie the last hit. She tried to get an answer from Ivan, but she only got drunk nonsense and extremely annoying avoidance. All the fantasies about love were completely disintegrated at this moment. She finally understood that she was just a tool for rebelling during Ivan's adolescence, a cheap toy used to irritate his parents. Even if she was brought to court, she tried to cancel the marriage quickly due to the threat, but she failed due to the jurisdiction problem. The helpless father could only take her to face the final trial of Ivan's parents. At the private airport, the appearance of the widow mother will squeeze the whole world closely. He didn't even look at Annie. He just coldly judged that Ivan was not your husband and you were not a member of the family. And the cowardice and retreat of Ivan in front of his mother even pushed Annie into the abyss. When he tried to use the split property as the last bargaining chip, it was the threat of the other party to destroy everything. Although I doubt you have much will be gone. Your life and lives of your family and friends. Everything will be destroyed. In front of the power, her little mind was not easy to deal with. She could only surrender and obediently go to Las Vegas for the formalities. At the divorce registration office, Annie looked back at Ivan for the last time, hoping to see a bit of guilt or reluctance. But Ivan just put on his sunglasses indifferently. This drama started with impulsiveness, ended with extreme indifference. The story did not end at the moment of signing the divorce agreement. The real luxury came after waking up from a dream. The teacher asked the bodyguard Nick to send Annie back to the villa to pick up her luggage and gave her $10,000 as compensation. On the plane back to the city, Nick carefully put on his coat for her. At night, in the mansion that was about to belong to her, two people with amnesia at the bottom of society had their first real communication. Nick said that today was her birthday, but he worked all day for the bankruptcy of the boss's family. Annie just found out that this silent man was also struggling in life, looking at people's faces, and was in a hurry. This moment of sympathy created a subtle emotional connection. They were in this golden cage, relying on each other's true warmth, comforting each other. The next morning, Annie left silently. Nick sent her back to the rented house near the railway track. Just as she was about to get off the car, Nick made a surprising move. He took out the diamond ring stolen by her father-in-law and returned it to her. He didn't explain much, just asked her to keep this secret. This seemingly inconsiderate action was full of resistance. This is his betrayal to that cold power system, a small one at a time. And for Annie, this lost and regained ring is no longer the key to the door of hope, but the most sincere and precious gift. She rushed into Nick's arms, with tears in her eyes. These tears flowed for the broken dream, as well as for this small warmth. This film is not just a story about a girl's broken dream. It is a cold mirror which reflects the following deep themes. The red hook of class solidification is hard to cross. The rich class uses money and power to build strong barriers. Anyone who tries to cross the line will be mercilessly suppressed. Marriage can be impulsive, but family interests cannot be violated. Love is simplified in the structure of power. There has never been an equal love between Annie and Ivan. For her, that is the shortcut to poverty. For her, that is the tool to resist her parents. Their relationship was built on the right to twist. From the beginning, Annie thought she had achieved independence through marriage. In fact, she was under greater dependence. In the end, she woke up not because she found a real way to be independent, but because she recognized the reality. And in the same humble individual, she found a little humanity. Nick, the bodyguard, is the key. His existence and the act of returning to the diamond ring symbolize the small struggle and humanity. This insignificant mutual aid may be the warmest part of the movie in the cold reality. If you are Annie, after all this, will you take the diamond ring back, or throw it into the river and say goodbye to the past? Let's talk about your choice in the comments section.